cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast. I am Mike Matthews, broadcasting through this really awesome microphone. It's really, really expensive, I think. I don't know, I didn't pay for it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And I am here doing this show today. Hey, here we go. Everybody say it's Mike Matthews. And I'm okay with doing this show because it's you and me, and I don't know, maybe there's 3 other people. They're all sitting over there drinking their weird drinks, smoothie drinks that are so good.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And an excellent place for a young teenager to get, well, their feet wet in the corporate world.
Mike's
making smoothies.
Daily.
And those other things that I can't.
Podcast.
The other thing. What's that called? They serve it at, I don't know, it's kind of like a frappe, but it tastes terrible. Hey, I think this is episode 2248. I think the last show was sort of a backup, go forward, backed up. That's right, it was 2249 today. Wow, 2249. The last show was called Calming, because we were talking about stress at work and how we try to calm down. Then, all of a sudden, my Sunday got so stressful. Oh, and if you haven't been, go to MikesDailyPodcast.com, because you'll see Mike looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And who I never would have thought when I saw that movie as a young child at Grauman's Chinese Theater that I would someday resemble that Obi-Wan Kenobi. But that's what we learn from life, isn't it? Yes, there are lots of things we learn. So yes, that's MikesDailyPodcast.com. The things we're going to cover on today's podcast. Oh, by the way, there was this wonderful thing I saw called...
And here's today's podcast picture.
Amy Adams' latest movie, the thriller movie that she is like, it's like a ripoff of Hitchcock. And she sees Julianne Moore get killed or something, and she's across the street, and there. I'm not going to give away the ending, because I guess the ending is what made the whole movie good. Because the rest of the movie was and then all of a sudden, then it got interesting at the end. The podcast picture today is going to be wonderful, and I want you to show it to all your friends, because Mike Matthews doesn't really go on social media much, and the only thing I do really is on the Basil is at MikesDailyPodcast.com. That's right, Basil. Oh, I had a heartbreak of a day. Oh, the podcast picture will be of the lovely hike my lovely lady friend went on today without me. Oh, but yes, it was around the Anthony Chabot Park, and you can see it at MikesDailyPodcast.com, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. And today we're in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Something I saw that was very heartbreaking yesterday. I am addicted to this nicely done video. It has a bunch of mistakes in it, and I love it because of that. It's professional yet amateur at the same time, and it is called A Yankee in the South. And it's about this guy, sounds a little bit like Michael Moore, which is because he grew up in Michigan and he moves to the South because he loves the Smoky Mountains. And they have a little white Pomeranian named Honey Bear. Well, Honey Bear died a little over a year ago. And there is a video that they filmed the day after. So Honey Bear died at like 1:30 in the morning. And the two of them did this video where they just talked to the camera. It is the most heartbreaking thing I have ever seen, and it made me relive the moments on that horrible, horrible Friday, almost a year ago, where I lost Basil the boxer. And my heart just screamed and went out to them, Will and Dawn, as I'm sure all their fans, I mean, they have hundreds of thousands of viewers. The numbers on that YouTube channel are insane. So, it just made me realize how much we all really, really get attached to dogs. I mean, they're so heartfelt and they're loyal and they smile when they're walking and having fun with you on a nice walk. They have these big smiles on their face, and no one can take that away from you. And it's so sad at the end when they're old and they're not doing well, and you just see it in their eyes that it's time, and and no one can take that from you either. But it's terrible. But it's wonderful at the same time. A terrible wonderfulness. Negative stereotypes around aging run rampant in our society. This may cause many of us to fear getting older, yet there are so many tremendous benefits of aging that we take for granted. Studies suggest that seniors are actually among the happiest groups of people, despite all that complaining they do about pain, my back, etc., especially as compared to their middle-aged counterparts like moi. This may stem from better coping techniques or simply from the fact that older people are more comfortable in their own skin. Think about that. The older you get, the more comfortable you will be in your own skin. If you are young and comfortable in your own skin, something must be wrong with you, because that's not. I think you have to be very uncomfortable in your skin when you're young, and that's okay. You got to just deal with it and realize that things will get better. The older you get, the more comfortable you get. And if you're a little too if you're too comfortable, you're too confident as a young person, and you act like you know everything. And let me tell you, everyone around you knows that you don't. And you look like an idiot, and you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself in any case. Thank you, Zach Galifianakis, for that. Increased happiness and peace is certainly something to look forward to as we get older. There's extra free time when you're older. Yes, not only will you have more time to spend with loved ones when you retire, but you'll also have a greater opportunity to pursue different adventures. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Podcastro Valley, Mont. This is from, by the way, a website that is created by a senior living center called The Claire. Aww. And it's called theclaire.com. With age comes a plethora of life experiences. Seniors have demonstrated superior empathetic and social abilities, according to one study, and great control over their emotions, according to another. Those in their 60s and beyond have a broader scope of points of view, resolutions, and compromises than younger people. And then, and finally, and this is probably the best, financial gains, hopefully. There are certain financial gains that go along with aging with programs like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. Seniors are guaranteed health insurance and a minimum income. Of course, senior discounts are also a terrific perk of getting older. As soon as you turn 50, you get the AARP bugging you all the time. And my lovely lady friend, who's about 10 years younger than me, says, you should sign up for that, like, now. And I said, I will as soon as they have a worthwhile gift. Because every time they send it, there's like, oh, we'll give you a bunch of luggage. Oh, we'll give you a cooler. Oh, and none of that appeals to me yet. When they're giving me like a new turntable or something, I might go for that. So all these little perks, they help seniors enjoy life and stay engaged and active, but also save money when incomes are fixed and limited. So, there you go. Outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Look who's here. Hi, Mont. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
You seem really happy talking into that microphone.
Yeah, that microphone that I got here is, it's really awesome. Look who else is here.
Oh, my God, make delicious root beer. Have some right now.
Isn't it great? All these great characters here at Cafe Anyway, they're all wonderful.
Drink it or I'll cut you.
Maybe not that great. Here's the thing. So I'm a manager, and I got really, really, really stressed out this weekend because, and I talked about it a little bit on the Saturday podcast, which would have been episode 2247. And I was really stressed out, and you know what I found that's cool when you're a manager and you're stressed out is you can delegate. And I delegated, and suddenly I felt a lot better. But first I complained to my boss. So if you are stressing out as an employee, here's what you do. Here is my advice to you, is complain to your boss. Do that. It'll make you feel better. Tell them what you need. And then, if they don't do it, then you can reconsider your employment or complain to someone else. That's the best thing. Complain to someone else. As someone who grew up as an only child and did a lot of stuff on my own and had to internalize a lot of things on my own, I didn't have any brothers or sisters to bounce ideas off of. Just all by myself. I internalized a lot of stuff, so when bad things happen, typically at a job, I would, or in life in general, I would internalize it, not talk about it. But having a girlfriend, did I mention she's younger than me? That she is also very, she's a therapist. She has taught me you got to talk. You got to talk about stuff, and you got to work it out. Don't internalize it. You can only do so much. When you talk and bounce the ideas off other people, it's better. And I found when I was talking to management today about some things that were bugging me, things got better right away. So that's good. All this helpful advice. Tell people about this podcast and the guy that shouts on it and the helpful advice that you get. And that in the next show, it's going to be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Check out the podcast at all the places you can listen to it, and go to MikesDailyPodcast.com. And you can always call me at 336-MM-DAILY. That's 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. And daily as in what this podcast has actually been for 3 days in a row. Excellent! Let's see how long this lasts.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!